Hello and welcome to StrangePlay. I'm Rick.
I'm Simon.
And today we are reviewing Pinball FX 3. Now, I know absolutely nothing about this game at all. I've never played a Pinball FX game, but you are quite fond of them, aren't you?
Yeah, I've played every single pinball game that Zen Studios have ever kicked out across the various platforms.
So what is it then about the Zen pinball games specifically that make you, or that draw you in?
So I think the main difference to make between normal pinball and Zen Studios games is that it's very arcadey. Like, there's a different distinction there. The ball moves as you'd expect it to, but because the tables are not limited by normal physics, they can do different things with them.
Okay, so it is more arcade than sim then?
Yeah, there's definitely like a simulation there with the ball physics, but the rest of it's like they can just totally push the boat out, what they can do.
So what's 3 done to improve on the other 2?
That's a good question. They've had all the tables that they've ever done that have been pushed forward, have had a graphical redux, there's been an increase in ball physics, stuff like lighting as well, they've pushed that bar forward. Even stuff like the ball reflecting, like its surroundings is just...
So it's just had like a huge visual overhaul.
Yeah, it's like a lick of paint, and a lot of tables have been tuned as well to accommodate the updated physics. There's been a lot of work there, but it's not like apparent, unless you're looking for it.
Okay, so how does it play compared to like real pinball? Like, I know it's different, obviously, but I know that you're a fan of both. So what is it about this game that's pulled you in?
So when you look at its stablemate, Pinball Arcade, those tables are complete replicas. They are, without a doubt, the most accurate simulation of a table that we're going to be able to do. If you want to play like Adam's Family, then that's the place that you're going to have to do it. But if you want tables that are a bit more vibrant, a bit more alive, like stuff like the toys moving about, a good example is Spider-Man, for example.
Okay.
Like the Green Goblin, he'll come and he'll fly around the table, and like trying to distract you and interrupt you and stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's just not physically possible, like on the portal table, the mushrooms, the mushroom poppers,
yeah,
the bumpers. If you hit them enough times, eventually, like, there's a little gate that opens up your sinkhole.
Okay.
And if you get in a sinkhole, that starts a mode. Whereas, like, on real world tables, you can't do that. Mechanically, it's impossible for mushroom bumper to, physically change its attributes.
Yeah, of course.
So you've got all these, like, weird things you're going on. Like, a lot of tables have their own... I don't want to say gimmick, but they have their own tendencies by which to play. So, like, there's a table based on Jaws, the film.
Okay.
And eventually, on one of the modes, what happens is the table rocks from side to side, like you're on a boat.
Oh, cool.
So you'll be playing, and like, you try to line your shots up, and, take your time. But all the time, the boat's, like, moving backwards and forwards. It's jostling the table about. There's a table on Paranormal where you're playing vertical, on a vertical table, which is like, you don't realise how fast the ball goes, when it's like gravity's working completely with it. There's no like resistance on it coming down.
So are all the tables licensed, or is there like a mix between licensed? Because you've mentioned Jaws, you've mentioned Spider-Man.
So basically, there's several licenses. There's the Marvel licenses, which vary across stuff like Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America, the Avengers. Even stuff that's like bit parts, like Moon Knight. I had no idea who Moon Knight was before Marvel Pinball. I didn't even know he existed. But there's like oddities like that.
Okay.
There's Star Wars tables.
I'm sold.
Yeah, those ones tend to feature like specific characters. So like you'll have a Darth Vader one, a Boba Fett, Han Solo, just stuff like that. Or they're based around like the light side versus the dark side. Or
yeah.
Like you've got different aspects of that. Alien. So you've got Alien vs Predator and all that. That's a couple of tables.
So it's got some really cool licenses then, like Marvel, Fox, Universal.
Yeah, Fox is another one. So you've got like American Dad, Family Guy, Archer. Oh, what's the other one? Bob's Burgers, which is actually a really good table.
How many tables is there then? Because you said that it's got all the tables from the old games as well.
It doesn't have all the tables. Currently it has 68 tables.
Wow.
Some of them from the last game got dropped, so there's no South Park tables in this one. There's no Missplosion Man, Plants vs Zombies, no Street Fighter 2, no Ninja Gaiden. But to be honest, I mean, I've owned tables from like playing on Xbox, and from the very, very first game that they ever did, and I still own those tables. Like, I didn't have to pay any more for them. They were just like, oh, there's a new Pinball FX game out. all your old DLC that is, compatible with this game will work.
So how does it play then? Is it just here's a pinball table, or because it's a little bit arcadey, is there different modes and stuff?
They are different modes. So you have like a classic mode, no frills, which is basically you get your 3 balls and you get your table and you do your skill shots and you try and work through the modes. The standard mode is the same as classic mode, except you can use passive upgrades and wizard powers. So basically what happens is if you get, I don't know, you're playing the Wild West Rampage. If you hit the skill shot, there's a leveling system and it'll say, okay, you need to hit like another 4 skill shots and you'll unlock a passive perk that you can equip. And every time you get a skill shot, like you'll get 20% more score off that skill shot.
Okay.
And if you keep doing it, like it'll go up, so it'll go like to 20 to 40% to 60% to 80% to 100%. So I'm not really a fan of stuff like that.
How come?
I don't like the idea of people bolstering the scores with stuff like that when it should just be a flat line for a score attack game.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of that. But I mean, if it pulls people in, I'm all for it. Like you take your victories where you can get them.
Yeah, of course.
You have a challenge mode which is broken up into 3 parts.
Okay.
This is 1 ball, 5 minutes, and survival. 1 ball is obviously you get 1 ball once you lose it.
That's it.
It's done. 5 minutes. You get 5 minutes, unlimited drains.
What does unlimited drains mean?
Drains means, say like you get 3 balls, you get 3 drains.
Oh, okay, so unlimited balls, basically.
Yeah, so you're getting like an unlimited balls. Survival works the same, but you were basically fighting a score limit. So the clock's going down, and the more you score, the more it extends the time.
Okay.
You've got 15 stars in each of these modes. So, like, each time you play, it'll go like 1 star, you'll hit 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. And the more you can unlock for that table, like, there's a bit of a subset menu where you can go look at the toys and go look at the artwork and stuff and the designs. And it's fluff, really, but it's nice to get a good look because pinball's generally that fast that you don't get to stand and smell the roses. There's a matchup mode which places you in a league. You get 4 tables to play, picked at random by Zen. And what happens is, say like you pick ET, and you get presented with 3 different skills of player. You get like a novice, an intermediate, and an expert. The novice has the lowest score, the expert has the highest score. And there's like a little bit of a scoring system. So what happens is, if you beat the novice, you'll get like 10 league points, and then like whatever bonus points you get over the top. So if you really, really beat him, you'll get like a domination score. So the idea is you pick the opponent that will result in you getting the most points. And then once the season's over, the season lasts a week.
Okay. And
the top 20% go up a league, the bottom 10% go down a league, and the people in the middle just stay in that league. So I do think this mod has issues, mainly because if you don't own the tables, you can't progress. So there might be 1 week that comes, and it's like all 4 tables, you don't own any of them, so you are going to get demoted. Like there's nothing you can do. It's either you open your wallet or you deal with it. Like I think it sort of goes against the consumer aspect of like all your tables porting across from FX2 to FX3.
That sounds a bit shitty.
Yeah, it is really, really shitty. And the silly thing is, you only get 3 minutes on the league. It's 3 minutes, like, just let the people play the tables. Like, here you go, there's 68 tables. These are your free 4 tables for this week. Come and have a look at them.
That could be a great way to...
Yeah, to market it.
Yeah, as well, because if you're giving people a taste, then they'll be like, oh shit, I like that table.
Yeah.
And then they'd go out and buy it.
It just seems really, really... I don't know, it's a bit snide, I think. It gives with one hand and it takes away with the other, with the consumer, like, benefits. I wish it wasn't like that. Because, as well, like, you get bonuses depending on how many tables you play. So if you play all 4 tables, you get what's called a diversity bonus.
Okay.
So, like, it's just putting you up. So, in a way, it's sort of pay to win. Unless you want it to be really, really grindy. Which is... They could have handled that better. I'm being honest there. They could have handled it a lot better.
That's a bit of a shame, really.
Yeah. Finally, there's a tournament mode. So you can either join tournaments that people have set up. Or Zen have set up. Or you can host your own. So say like me and you wanted to play. I'm playing on PC. You'll be playing on PlayStation 4. What you could do is set a thing up. Say, okay, we're going to play on Wolverine. And you could say, okay, the password is claws. I could go to my thing, type your gamer tag in, put claws in as a password, and I'd get into your thing. And we could see each other's scores as we were playing. So you can play without, do you know, like there's this sort of like asynchronous thing.
Yeah.
So for people that don't really get a lot of time to play games, but they like to stay in touch with people, it works a lot like mobile games in that respect, you know, like Scrabble or Kickflip Football or, do you know, that sort of, you don't both need to be online, but you can play together without having to be on together.
That's cool.
There is a thing that this crossplay thing won't do though. Xbox and PlayStation 4 players cannot see each other. They can join the same tournaments, so say like I start a tournament and you have Xbox players joining and PlayStation 4 players joining, and PC players joining. The PC players will see everyone. The people on Sony and Microsoft platforms will only see the PC player. So maybe 10 people would join overall, but to the Xbox players, it'd look like there's only like 6 people in.
That's fucking stupid.
It is, and I don't think it's Zen Studios' fault. I think they'd rather have it, you know, so we're open to everyone. But yeah, it is stupid, and I think we've got Sony to thank for that.
So you touched on this briefly at the beginning about, you know, what's different between all the games, but like how does it look? Like overall, how would you say it looks?
The thing with this game is, because there's so many tables, like the art style varies from, you know, table to table. I think most of them look really, really nice. They're not too gaudy, they're not too, you know, like complicated or anything like that. These are few tables that'll pull your eyes out. There's a lot going on. Like the Castle Storm table in particular is like, there's a lot of artwork above the flippers and it can get a bit messy. There's certain modes as well, going back to, you know, the way that these tables don't have to adhere to like real life tables. Like you'll have zombies walking about the playfield.
Oh, cool.
Like on The Walking Dead.
That's cool.
And because the artwork is brown and the zombies are like brown, it's hard to see them sometimes. It's like, oh fuck, I lost that mode, Joe, because I couldn't see the last zombie.
Yeah.
Like he got to the flippers before I could, Joe, run him over with the ball. There's instances as well where tables are a little bit bland. Mars is a little bit bland. It's a bit sterile. But I think for the most, they're graphically really nice. That's something else, like the difficulty of the tables. I know this is like going off on a tangent a bit. But the difficulty of the tables is, there's a gradient. Like, if I were to say, hey look, this is the easy end of the tables, this is the hard end of the tables. Like, there's something there for everyone, essentially. You know, like, if you want to play a hard table, you're going to play, like, Wild West Rampage. If you want an easy table, you're going to play Secrets of the Deep or something like that. Or something that's a bit more lenient to the player.
Yeah.
But yeah, the visual stuff it's spot on, really. Like, aside from a few outlayers, it's what you'd expect. The lighting and stuff looks lovely as well.
Yeah.
When stuff's like all lit up and flashing, it looks really, really fucking nice.
So how does it sound then? Because you're saying it's a bit more arcadey than other ones. So does it have like realistic sounds, or is it a little bit more artificial?
Okay, so going back to the visuals, because there's so many tables, it's a bit hit and miss. A lot of the noises, like the ball actually hitting targets and stuff, sounds perfectly fine. It sounds nice in most cases. It sounds like it should do. The things that do let it down are the voiceovers on the license tables, which in some cases are just shocking. Like, the Back to the Future table has got Doc Green on it.
Doc Brown.
Doc Brown, sorry, fucking hell. Doc Brown. And he just sounds shocking. Like, he sounds like someone trying to do a Doc Brown impression, but they're just going totally OTT with it.
1985 alternative. 2015, 1985.
A lot of the Star Wars tables have like Rey. She sounds like she's gonna fucking offer you a pint down your local. Like, she just sounds so bad.
Right, let's see if I get lucky today.
I mean, if you didn't know those things, like a lot of the Marvel hero ones, like I've got no idea what they sound like. They're just fucking. I've said before that most of my Marvel comic knowledge comes from pinball tables,
Yeah.
and I find them perfectly acceptable. But there's ones like Deadpool, which are just annoy the fuck out of me. They're really, really annoying, you know, to listen to. They're very grindy. Otherwise, the music and sound effects are good. I find myself humming, you know, parts of the soundtrack. Especially the Star Wars tables, you know, with the blasters and stuff. And stuff like R2-D2, you know, bleeping away. And it's like, oh, wow, yeah, it sounds authentic. There's a lot of things like the lightsabers spinning about, or even the pulse rifles from Aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's like, it brings you in, you know, like, they're not messing about in that aspect of the game, but it's sort of let down by the voiceovers, which are, quite frankly, laughable in some places, because it's just, yeah, it's sort of, like, jarring. Interestingly, you can turn the copyrighted music off if you're streaming or creating videos, just so you don't get, like, copyright stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is really, really handy, because I think actually Zen Studios are, like, all for, you know, sharing it, like, streaming and making videos. They're very open-minded to that and don't want people to get penalised for it. So it's nice that they put that feature in.
That's really cool, man. Like, I wish more people would do stuff like that.
Oddly, like, this is a weird thing though. The Universal tables, Back to the Future, E.T., Jaws, they don't have any like licensed music in them at all.
Really?
Yeah. How bizarre is that? Like, you think that they would have, because they've got quite iconic tunes, haven't they? Those.
So, who would you recommend this to?
Obviously, people that like to play pinball, digital or otherwise. People like score chasing games, or people that don't have time to play a lot, but they'll have like 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. Like, it's ideal for people like that. Or people that like to figure out the mechanics of something. Like, you get people and they'll work out, like in Geometry Wars, the best way to do something. Yeah, like that person that has that mindset that they're looking to maximise a score within the easiest way of doing it.
So what are the pros and cons then?
I think it's the most accessible pinball game on the market. The front end's really nice. They've introduced a woman that sort of guides you through it, and she sort of tells you what's going on and what the menus do, and like if you were doing something wrong or something like that. It's really, really easy to read. Like, if you were new when you were coming in, you're well accommodated for. Like, they're going to look after you. You don't find that in other pinball games. They just fucking throw you to lions. Where I think Pinball FX 3 sort of welcomes you with open arms, it cradles you, and it's like, okay, yeah, you fucked up there, but this is how you do it, sort of thing.
That's cool.
All the tables are free if you've bought them before. The licenses transfer across.
Okay.
I think that's just a fantastic piece of consumer benefit. I wish more games would do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Crossplay and synchronous nature is really, really nice. It's a challenge that's a variable time sync. If you've got like 10 minutes to spare, you can burn that 10 minutes. If you've got like half an hour or an hour, it's up to you basically how much you want to put in. The more you put in to learning the game, the more you're going to get out of it.
Okay. So what are the cons then?
The tutorials for the game. For someone who knows how to play pinball, you sort of look at it and you think, okay, they learn you how to make shots, they learn you how to nudge, and you know how to do skill shots.
Yeah.
But they don't learn you any more than that, which is a real shame, because like they don't explain post passing or slap saves or backhands or anything that's more technical. They just sort of gloss over. It's like, well, there you go, go and have some fun and slap. Whereas I think they could have benefited from going, hey, look, we noticed you just drained there, from like an in lane. Here's what you could have done, to stop it. Like, I mean, it could come. They could eventually, put it in, but as it stands, it's not in there now. The game is expensive. If you want to buy all in, if you want to go all in on the 68 tables, you are looking at 140 quid, which is...
Wow, that's
a lot.
Pricey.
Yeah, it's a lot. Of course, you don't have to do that. You can like buy a table a month or whatever, like a pack a month.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you want to go all in, yeah, it's fucking expensive. Like, it's a good job that they have like sort of bundled them up into smaller purchases, because...
How many comes in a bundle then?
You're looking at about 3 tables, between 3 and 4 tables, depending on what they are. So, like, the unlicensed ones, you tend to get in bundles of 2 or 4.
Okay.
The licensed ones tend to come in 2 or 3. You're looking at about £7. Otherwise, it's just unviable. I don't like the match-up strong hands you into buying tables if you want to progress. I think that's a bit cheeky myself. It's like, okay, you can spend a lot of time progressing through this league, and when you get to next league, it's like you don't have any tables, so all that work's lost, like all that time and investment. I just think that's really, really shitty. Like, they could have been more lenient with that sort of with that mode, essentially. Like, they could have opened the tables and just said, hey, okay, these are this week's free tables, have fun.
So would you recommend it?
I would recommend it to people who like challenges, willing to develop a set of skills. People that are into chasing leaderboards, without a doubt. People that are unsure, I'd say give it a try. Because the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to play the free table and go, nah, this ain't for me. Or,
so there's a free table?
Yeah, there's a free table called Sorcerer's Lair. Go give it a try if you're wanting to experience something a little bit different. For people that don't like to lose, or just struggle with the concept of, like high learning curves, just give it a miss. If you're one of those people that gets frustrated or rage quits or doesn't like dying over and over again or just failing, yeah, for those people, avoid it. Anyone else, give it a try.